Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm the Mad Catter and today I'm going to talk about the universe and how holographic and simulated it appears to be. I was 17 when I heard about Schrodinger's cat from a friend whose friend explained it to her. At the time, all I knew was that you can't be certain of the state of anything until you observe it. I wasn't aware that it had anything to do with real science. I honestly thought it was more philosophy. But despite my lack of understanding, I still found the concept pretty fascinating. In addition, What the Bleep Do We Know was my introduction to the double slit experiment. The movie totally jazzed up the whole concept with rather wacky suggestions. At the time, I was still in my early to mid-20s and had just discovered an interest in quantum cosmology through documentaries I found on the Discovery Channel. The fairy tale potential postulated in the What the Bleep Do We Know movie was admittedly what appealed to me at first. As I've said in other videos, I do think it's highly likely that we're living in a holographic universe, and the double slit experiment appears to hold up in the holographic universe theory and might allow for some rather creepy possibilities. Now, there's this little Netflix show called Stranger Things. I'm sure some of you might be familiar with it. One thing that I find interesting about the show's concept is that there is another plane of existence called the Upside Down world, just below, behind, or beyond whatever you can observe. Many, if not most of you, are already familiar with the double slit experiment, but just in case, I'll try to give a short explanation. When electrons are fired toward two slits in a panel, they can act one of two ways, either like a wave or a particle. When there is no one observing it, it creates an interference pattern like a wave that looks as though there are more than two slits. When there is an observer, the electron behaves like a particle, showing only the pattern expected when fired at the two slits. Schrodinger's wave function represents the many potential positions a particle could end up in. When you observe anything around you, it is in particle form. By observing it, you collapse the wave function of possibilities into the one most likely possibility, which then you experience as reality. Essentially, everything could be 2D, and we only think it's 3D because we can walk around and see an object from all angles. However, we don't actually see any angles until either the observer or the object moves. If no one is there to observe the other side, then the other side could be considered a wave function waiting for an observer to come along and collapse it into reality. In a sense, whatever no one is looking at could possibly be anything. Now, more and more influential, science-minded individuals are beginning to agree that there's a high possibility we're living within some sort of system that either is a simulation or resembles one in every way. Recently, I discovered something called quantum gravity research, which was founded by a man named Klee Irwin, who developed a theory of everything, or what he calls the emergence theory. Upon first glance, this seemed pretty interesting, and I was hoping it would be something I could introduce to my channel. But I soon came to discover that Klee Irwin may actually not be all he's claiming. You see, he has a nutritional supplement business called Irwin Naturals, selling what many consider to be, well, diet scams. According to Rationalwiki, his company was sued for over $2.5 million for not only ripping off customers outright, but for selling products with high amounts of lead, and many were found to contain little or none of the active ingredients. Klee's quantum gravity research is reportedly just the name of his latest venture. The title just makes it sound official and scientific. Klee would like us to believe that he's discovered a shape that is identical to the shape of the universe, based on a lattice structure with the most densely packed points, and consisting of tetrahedrons, each Planck length and each spinning at the Planck length of time, to create something that resembles a projector image of all time. The videos he produces or appears in are sometimes reminiscent of What the Bleep, but he doesn't seem to give satisfactory explanations as to why we should accept his theory of everything. In addition, I couldn't find a lot of positive media attention toward Klee at all. In fact, he appears to be so unpopular, I couldn't find an actual Wikipedia page for him. All I could dig up was this page, comparing two different bios for Klee. The first was a pretty negative entry, which was then altered by someone else to show him in a more positive light. To Klee or not to Klee? That is the question. And I'm no scientist, so I'll let you decide for yourselves. Perhaps this supplements will help you collapse the hell out of some wave functions. For me, the greatest question concerning all of this is how consciousness plays into the whole thing. Did consciousness create the universe? Did the universe create consciousness? Or is it inserted into the universe like a virtual reality Sims game? I plan on discussing this and some other theories involving the simulation and holographic universe in my next video. So feel free to leave any comments or questions below, and like and subscribe if you're feeling generous. Until next time, I guess we'll just hang 10 on reality.